come on, bro. Yeah,
Let's not forget how good Giannis is.
Middleton.
Okay.
He was an all-star.
Listen
Yeah,
to the
his head is
first.
a little lumpy,
Listen
but
to
he's
the
nice.
first 3 letters, Mo. Mid. That's all I'm gonna say.
That we re-asked this question: who is the best player in the NBA right now?
This is Droppin Dimes. Let's talk about it.
Straight away, I mean, the best player in the NBA, hands down, is Nikola Jokic. That man.
Wow.
I will say, I'm just going to say it now. I was a hater. But after this postseason, I am no longer a hater. I just want to put an apology out there. Jokic, I'm sorry. I didn't believe in you. But now I bow. I bow to you, and I love your game. I love watching him play basketball.
Why were you a hater, though? That's the real question.
Because he was too damn good, and I just thought, this guy, like, I didn't understand him, but when you really, like, get to know, like, see his personality more, which I think the NBA did a better job this season, showcasing that a little bit more, or the media even, and, I was like, okay, maybe he's just a guy just doing his job, and he's a family man, and I got to respect that. I don't know if just because, like, I'm a new dad, maybe I have a different perspective on things. That could be it.
Yeah.
And so I looked at him through a different lens, and I was like, let me watch this basketball game without an inch of hate in my heart when I'm just like, because I'm salty. Like, he would just dog everybody, So it's just like, I'm on the other side now. And I just think, like, overall game, like, right now, it's just, dude, if you need a passer, he gets people open, he makes people better. He makes the perfect reads. It's crazy. He can shoot a 3. Like, dude, what can he not do? Answer that. What can he not do?
You ask any, like, old person who the best players are, it's always somebody who's, like, dumb tall,
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense because they were so dominant, right? And I'm glad we're kind of seeing that come back right now with, like, Giannis's skill with his size and Jokic's skill with his size. What's interesting to me about Jokic, man, is, like, if you just saw him walking on the street, obviously besides the height, like, you just wouldn't think twice about him being, like, able to average a triple-double, like, postseason, do all that. But, yeah, I mean, my vote's Nikola Jokic. If I was going to pick anybody up in the NBA to go win a basketball game, which is, I don't want to say it's a hard decision, but it's not.
Who makes it hard?
Only because, like, okay. It's like,
yeah, who makes it hard, Friga? I'm curious. Like, where's the difficulty here?
So, I'm having trouble with just the fact that, like, he doesn't give off basketball player to me. You know what I'm saying? But, like, who is the best player in the league? I'm gonna say Jokic, right? It's so difficult because, like, he's just not typical, like, oh, I can dribble the ball over here and take this shot over here. And he's not like a shot maker, but he does everything, like you said, Kris. Like, you need somebody that's going to give you 12 assists, boom. You want him to also have 15 rebounds, done. You want him to have 25 as well, cool.
What's interesting about Jokic, too, is, like, I swear when you're watching him, he looks dog tired. Like, he just looks so tired and gassed, but the gas never stops. This man averages 42 minutes a game. And then at the end of the game, he looks like, hey, I could have gone 10 more minutes. Like, his cardio is insane. But like you said, Friga, it's like when you look at him, it's like, all right, this guy, once he goes up and down 10 times, he's going to be calling for a sub. Yeah. So it's like, that's another thing that's impressive to me when you, like, watch him, because you're like, wow, like, how is he able to just keep going, and it almost makes me like, I would be so interested in his workout routine too. Like, now I'm like, I want to learn more about him, like what his tendencies are off the court. Like, I've heard stories where he can, he just shows up, does his thing, and then he's going home to his horses, like there's been off seasons where, like, the team just doesn't see him.
What's super interesting about Jokic and what separates him from the normal star is obviously, like, he doesn't look like he hoops. He looks like he works at a meat processing factory, or like he's at a horse staple area. He looks like a lumberjack. Like, he just don't look like he does the traditional. He doesn't look like the traditional NBA player, and also his game speaks loudly to that as well. Like he's so unique.
Yeah, one thing on speaking, right? Yeah. His game speaks for him clearly. There's one thing I think he could improve on, and it's post-game interviews. You know, it's like, it will be like, you know, wanting this championship motivating, like post-game championship speech. This guy just said, yep, yeah, I good job.
I love that though, bro. Like I love it.
It's like it's the humble, you know, but it's like, it's almost too humble for me to like really just, come on, give me something a little more extra to get me going, you know? It's like, but I respect it, you know.
But that's the thing where I'm like, in the culture that we are in, we kind of touched on this a couple episodes ago. Like, we're used to people talking that talk. We grew up with the Kobe's and the MJs of the world, and Nikola Jokic is over here after he won an NBA championship. He asked the PR lady, "Hey, yo, when's the parade?" "Oh, it's on Thursday or whatever." I want to go home. You don't see that. Like, he just want to go home and chill, ride his horses, feed his ponies, and all that. That's just I think that's a part of the reason why people do not see Nikola Jokic inspirational or like not even like relatable in a sense or whatever. But I think that at the same time, that's like the beauty in him, in someone like him.
I think a lot of players in the NBA, what they talk about and what they do and why they get to the NBA. Some people get to the NBA for the wrong reason. Yeah, they love the game, yada, yada. But like, I feel like this man really just loves basketball, happened to get to the NBA, plays the game exactly how you're supposed to play, and just works hard and ends up being like one of the better players. But like, I feel like his morals are right and he understands what his real life is. You mentioned a second ago, Kris, like NBA did such a good job showing his personality off the court too. And I can second that too, because like, for some reason I was looking up like a few months ago, just looking up the video of when they delivered his MVP trophy years ago back in his hometown.
Oh yeah,
I was like, why am I looking this up right now? You know,
chilling with his horses, and I guarantee you that trophy's just somewhere lost in a garage, and he does not get. He might like, you know, make it a little, I don't know, doorstop or something. Like,
okay. So, quick question, just out of curiosity, before Jokic, who do you think was the best player in the NBA?
Steph Curry, I would argue. I think just someone that is like the it factor for a team, you know. And I'm just talking maybe in the last 4 years, right? Because you know LeBron before that, it was LeBron's league. But past LeBron, I could argue Curry and I mean Giannis. I mean he's just been so dominant. Yeah. I just think on the skill, like Giannis he has a God-given gift and skill of like, you know, the athleticism and the length and, you know, just all around. It's hard for me sometimes when, you know, his shot just isn't there, which is good because he hasn't reached his like ceiling yet. Whereas Curry, you could argue like he's kind of like reached that ceiling. I don't really see where he could fill, like how much more he could fill in his game.
Let's pivot. You mentioned LeBron, and I think this is a fantastic transition to ask you guys, who is your NBA GOAT? Who is the greatest player of all time? A lot of people have very, very hot takes when it comes to this, and I want to hear y'all's. I could predict it, but to be honest, I want you guys to really get into weed to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Like, I'm from Cuyahoga Falls, which is like 5 minutes from Akron, Ohio. It's always been LeBron for me. But then I actually like gave it some thought the last few weeks because I saw this video online. I can't remember who was being interviewed, but they were like, I can't say Michael's the greatest of all time. I can't say LeBron's the greatest of all time because like they didn't play in all time. And I think it's like the era's totally like different maybe. So I'm just going to tell you LeBron because that's like the best answer I can give you. I know it sounds cliche, but I mean, cliche for a reason. And I'm also like literally like have these big windows right next to me. I can see Akron right now, so it's like
it's in his blood. You're the wrong
It would
person
almost
to
be
ask.
disrespectful for me to be in Akron and say something else too.
You say that as if like the LeBron fan club is outside of your door waiting for you to say something. So Friga, blink twice if you need help.
I'll be right out there. No, no, I think like the GOAT talk is obviously subjective in the sense of like Friga said, you really won't know because they didn't play in the same eras or the same time, so it's hard to really have that debate. But I always like to think of it like this, right? As a human being, we evolve over time, so it's almost inevitable for somebody now to be better than somebody then, right? Because just as a human nature, like we evolve, like you're seeing literal 10-year-olds doing East Bays and warm-ups. Like when I was playing, that wasn't a thing. So for someone to argue like, oh, LeBron isn't better than Jordan, you're just like, you were probably around watching Jordan. Like you probably physically went to a Michael Jordan game. Like I didn't have that pleasure, right? So I might be a little biased, but I just go off of just statistically and factual. LeBron James is the best ever, like the GOAT of the game basketball. But as a competitor and what Michael Jordan brought for the influence of the game, I think really he's the GOAT of that. Like, for example, like when you think basketball, right, there's probably two names you think of automatically. Michael Jordan and LeBron James, right? Or Kobe. But I think worldwide, it's Michael Jordan right now because the Jordan sneakers, like there's so many things off the court that Jordan has done because of his game. And you could argue like that's what makes him like the GOAT, like the basketball GOAT. But if we're going off of like the GOAT of who can play better, the game of basketball better, LeBron James just all around is just a better player. Like he can pass the ball, he can shoot, he's the clutchest player ever. Like statistically, you could argue like just because maybe Jordan was more flashy with his clutch points, but LeBron James has more clutch buckets, so he's just more clutch player. So it's just like I don't like to argue too much on it because statistically, like the numbers don't lie, and you could say, oh well, 6-0 versus like. What is LeBron's record like? 4-8, 4-6, 4-7, 4-7. Regardless, the man has made it to 10 NBA finals, right? Which is more impressive, I'd argue, than like not going to 10 finals, going to 6 finals. Yes, you won all 6, but like he went to 10, and then look at the teams he's carrying, right? And then who was the favorite in the finals? LeBron, I think, was favored twice out of those 10 times. And only like he won one of them, lost the other.
To touch back to what you guys said, holistically speaking, like you're meant to be better in every single way imaginable, like as human beings. That's like me comparing, what's better, this 1999 BMW versus this 2024 BMW that's outside
exactly
the garage. Like it's like, bro, for nostalgia reasons, it was really good for its time, but right now, like, you know, you can't really compare the two. It's really hard to. So many things are different. The three-pointer was not as emphasized back then. There's so many defensive rules that has changed then compared to now. So it's a whole different conversation when it comes to arguing who is better when you apply like all the little things that have changed as the years has gone on. So overall, I feel like it's just like, you know, it's very objective. People like to the keyboard warriors like to fight for their lives. This is what they do for a living. So it's just an interesting conversation, but I ain't gonna lie, you caught me. I am a LeBron fan. Friga, I was getting ready to send some of my people at your front door if you would have said something else. This is the perfect transition to the next segment. It is TikTok time. Which player has potential to be better than LeBron James all time? I'm going to name him. I'm going to list him. All right? This is a very short list. Victor Wembanyama.
I don't think so, no.
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 No?
I'm going to say no.
No.
Why?
I hope he stays healthy.
It's not even a health situation for me. It's like, okay, size, cool, whatever. But like It's just overall domination of your competition. Like LeBron's been doing that since he was 13, 14. Wembanyama, like, yes, he's playing with grown men, you could argue, since he was like 16. But he wasn't dominating, like, to the point where he's averaging 20, 10, and 5, right? Like, LeBron was doing that where he played. So I'm not sold yet.
Luka Doncic.
We're talking about LeBron here, Mo.
Yeah. There's just no. Luka has the skill, potential to be better than LeBron. No. You know why?
What's Luka missing? He's already like that right now. Longevity. You got to think like these guys got to be able to compete at a high level, at a GOAT level for 20 straight years. So
like Luka already said in an interview, he already said, like, I'm not playing more than 15 seasons, so he's already clocked out.
I love that. I love that answer. All right. Which all-time duo is better? KD and Curry versus LeBron and D Wade.
Ooh.
I would go KD and Curry on that.
Yeah, it's KD and Curry, man. I mean,
you saying D Wade can't hold his weight?
I actually don't. I don't want to give that answer, but I just feel like if we're playing,
listen. I mean, we saw what we saw though. What we saw though to debate that. You know, we saw prime KD and prime Curry play together. We didn't see a prime D Wade and prime LeBron James. So I don't care what anyone says. That was not prime D Wade when they were playing together. This man, like, was struggling to stay in front of people, like, because of his knee injuries. like come on, bro. This wasn't 06 Wade playing with LeBron, all right? Like, nah. But if that was, I'd still pick Curry and KD. So
yeah, all that just to agree. I love it. All right, Giannis and Chris Middleton versus Jokic and Murray.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, let's not forget how good Giannis is.
Middleton.
He was an all-star.
Listen to the first. Listen to the first three letters, Mo. Mid. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh wow, he was an all-star though. Jamal Murray wasn't an all-star.
And look where he is. He's a champion. Averaging 30 and 10. Who cares?
I'm a huge Jokic believer. Wow. I'm Jokic and Jamal Murray over Chris Middleton and Giannis for sure.
Wow. Yeah, I agree with you guys. You guys are 100% right on that.
No debate there.
You're playing devil's advocate over here, man.
Which NBA legend is better all time? CP3 or Russell Westbrook?
All time. I'm sorry, Chris Paul. Like, I'm going Chris Paul. Westbrook, I love him, right? He's been great, but Chris Paul, there was debates for years. Who's better, Darren Williams or Chris Paul? Best point guard in the league, right? I just haven't, like, even though Westbrook won MVP, there was still, like, debates. You weren't fully confident that Westbrook was the best point guard in the league, right? So that's my argument there.
I am going to say the opposite. I'm going to say Russell Westbrook. I know a lot of you. I know last episode you guys were on me about saying Russell Westbrook about something. But no, I think Russell Westbrook all time is better than Chris Paul. And I know there's been a lot of Russell Westbrook slander lately, but...
Lately? The last 5 years?
5 years?
They got that man...
Since he left OKC, it's been chalked.
5 years?
Yeah.
I mean,
kids have been calling his kids Westbrook, bro.
Yeah, it's bad.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine someone walking up to you, both of you guys as kids, you guys are new fathers, congrats.
I'd pull up to the school the next day and say, who said it? Point to him.
Russell Westbrook leads the league in triple doubles, like, all time.
Yes, but it's like what for what though? For where, like, I know what, like, none of them have a ring, right? But you're right.
I'm
you're
going
right.
Westbrook.
Okay, you could argue. He do got an MVP. He do got an MVP.
They both ringless. Show the MVP moving me. I'm sorry. Next, which NBA legend is better, CP3 or Harden? Give me Harden. Harden.
Man, I just feel like recency bias is making me say Harden. But a part of me is just like let's give it 5 more years and then come back to this conversation. Because you got to remember, Chris Paul's on that last leg of retirement. So, and he's played for a minute. I mean, what was he? A couple years after LeBron? Like, I'm gonna just say Harden.
I like that answer.
Yeah, I think James Harden.
Yeah.
James Harden.
Which NBA celebration is better? LeBron chest pound versus Carmelo 3 to the head.
I do 3 to the head way more often than the chest pound. So I think
be 3 to the head.
I think Melo's more.
I think that's just so, you know.
Everyone does it.
Yeah.
Also, it's
Everyone
like,
does it.
yeah, it's more relatable. Like, people can actually, like, not everyone doing the little stomp over. Like, sometimes my rhythm be off, and I'm over here, like, looking awkward doing it, you know?
Nobody got that big of a chest like that. If I do that, where I might have an asthma attack. For sure, I agree. James Harden cooking versus Curry's night-night.
I like the night for sure.
Yeah, I like the night.
That's actually kind of tough.
I say the cooking. One. I feel like the night-night's kind of corny. That could be just me.
I mean, I feel like Harden retired it though. If he would have kept it going, maybe. But I think the night. It's like
I might have to take my answer back.
Do it.
I take mine back because like just like doing the cooking, just reminding your opponent, like, yeah, I'm cooking you right now. Like, yeah. I don't know.
That's hard.
I don't know.
That's hard.
That's Harden.
All right, that's going to do it. I'm Kristopher London with Mo and Friga, and we just dropped some dimes. Make sure you guys give this a like and subscribe. We out. Peace.